Hello followers and welcome back to Vanilla Gogurt, and we're back here on the house project today, and I'm the only one on the server at the moment, but that's okay. And I just wanted to cut you in to show you to what point I have already gotten before I get too carried away and finish this build and then have nothing to show you guys. So I've kind of just planned out in my head where these clay blocks are or where the windows are going to be. I'm going to bring this wall in a little bit. Figured out a little bit more about what I wanted to do with this as well. But aside from that, I've not done too much. I've just kind of been planning out mainly. So I do want to first finish off these little window slots like so. And hopefully I can reclaim some of the wood. I mean, it's not the end of the world if I can't, but it's always nice to get that little bit back so that you don't run out. So with those done, this is again a fairly standard one. So now we're down onto the last stack of clay, but the good news is I don't have many more windows to do. So I did have to do a bit of major re-improvement here and work on this a little bit to get it right and how I wanted it to be. And I had to bring everything back one. I haven't done too much with this yet. This is something that I need to work on, but again I just want to kind of get the house finished and then look at that stuff, and then we can obviously start and look at that. But for right now I just want to focus on getting the main structure in place. So that's kind of that sort of window done. Not bad. Let me think. Do I really want to alter that maybe a little bit? I would kind of like the clay on the bottom layer to be exposed. It makes the windows just feel a bit more full than how it looks the other way. It just kind of feels a bit incomplete. So let's do this, and if I remember correctly, yeah, I had a row of quartz running down this layer as well. So it's just kind of trial and error mainly as to what works and what doesn't. Oh, I've lost that one, haven't I? Never mind. Well, I should really go and get quartz if nothing else. So yeah, overall it's doing pretty good. I am running low on quartz though. I won't be able to finish this with just the amount of quartz I have. Now that window's looking pretty nice. Same sort of thing for here really. I'm going to take out the chunk to where this is going to be. And I'm basically just going to tear out all of this and put clay in it, in its place. There we are. Let's just run some clay down here. And let me hop up here again. 1, 2, 3, and again, oh, I'm not going to make it, but that's okay, so we can just jump up here again, and from here it's just kind of sealing off the windows. I am rapidly learning that this isn't as a bigger home as I actually thought it was going to be. I thought that this might turn out to be a little bit bigger than it actually has turned out to be, but that's okay, I guess. It certainly looks better from the inside than it does, the outside than it does from the inside. I can't talk today. So again, I want to run this down. This is actually going to be on the floor. I didn't really think of that. There we go. So we're going to run that there, and then this here. And again, this is just a sort of an early draft, an early concept of what I'm going for. I will probably spend quite a bit of time refining this further before I make my mind up on the final, fully complete design. But that's all to come in time. I'm going to put that there. Now as for this is a fairly simple wall I really want to do. Nothing too complex on that wall. But that generally doesn't look too bad, and neither does that. I think we're getting the ideas together now. So let's run back up the steps, and I want to work on the flat wall, and I think that that's going to pretty much cover all of the walls for right now. Yeah, that looks to be everything. So I think what we need to work on after this is kind of How much quartz do I have left? Less than a stack. Well, I'm hoping I'm going to have enough. That's kind of the aim, really. But I somehow doubt that I'm going to have the required amount of quartz for this, because I've got to fill in all these gaps as well. So the idea on top of this is that there's going to be a half slab roof as well, which I've not thought about too much per se yet. So I'm kind of still a bit in the dark as regards that. I am going to put wood there and there. There we go. I've got a plan to hide this. I'm going to put bookcases there to hide that little ugly bit. I'm not sure about this at the moment. This is the kind of the real concern, because obviously we're going to have this, and I'm just seeing clay on all sides. I might want to maybe work with that a little bit and try and come up with something other than clay for this area, because it almost feels like there's too many windows, if that's possible. I'm not entirely sure on whether there could be too many windows in a modern home, but for some reason it just doesn't feel quite right to me yet. So I'm going to probably fiddle with that a little bit off camera, and also work out something for sorting out the roofing situation, and then I will once again be right back, guys. Okay guys, so I've been working on this and I've just made a few little adjustments, but I ran out of quartz. Surprise, surprise. And I don't have enough to finish the roof. But I did come up with this big window design, and I think that this is going to be the way to go. Let me know your feedback on this, of course. I really like it. I think it adds a bit more depth to the room. I'm not sure whether people would agree with that or not. Aside from that, really, I haven't done too much else. I just played around with the roof a little bit to try out what I wanted to do with it, and I'm going to go with a solid block cover with slabs on top. And I need obviously more quartz now, so I'm going to have to go and collect that. I'm not going to bore you with the collection of that though, because that is really boring to go and collect all that quartz. So what we're going to do instead, for at least a little bit of this episode, is probably work on the surrounding plot a little bit and try and tidy that up. As I'm the only one on, well, there's monsters nearby now. Who's nearby? Better not be a creeper. Oh, it's one of you. Really hate this Bane of Arthropods sword, but there we go. Oh boy, now there's another one. Can I beat him? Yes. Oh, I hope I don't get the bug. There's a bug with multiplayer where sometimes you can't sleep. Excellent. That should take care of him. There we go. So let's just get rid of this. So this is where we're sort of at the moment. And as you can see, we don't have a proper path to it yet. We have trees in the way. And I do need to work on this as well, and that is also going to be something which I will probably just do off camera, to be honest. Just finish up that row of quartz there and then cover the whole underside in quartz, and that is just going to be quite a tedious task, so I'll probably do that off camera as well. But we do have this plot here, and it's very messy. This tree is growing everywhere. As you can imagine, it's a jungle plot. I haven't done much with it, but I think now is the right time to address these problems, and that should decay over time. This we're going to get rid of as well, and I'm probably going to do that soon. This tree is kind of in the way right here. I'm probably going to build something completely separate down here. I might build a little pond or a lake or something like that down here. Maybe get some crops growing, that kind of thing. This cave in a box is going to stay here, just because of sentimental reasons, I guess you could call it. I'm not going to get rid of that, but we are going to get rid of this dang tree on top because it looks just awful. So we're going to chop this down as well. I don't think there's anything else on top of here that really needs cutting down, so let's get this wood out of here as well. And I think maybe next episode we'll probably go do something else instead of working on the home. Just to give me some time to collect quartz, we may do something different. I might ask somebody if they want to go caving. that kind of thing, just to kind of break it up a little bit. I don't want you guys getting bored of watching me work on this project, because it's a very long and it's a very slow project, so we may have to just take a break from it for a little bit and go do something else for an episode. So yeah, now this tree and this tree, the terror trees, they're going to have to come down. These trees here I'm not too bothered about, but once these have all decayed and kind of cleared up, it will look a lot better, that's for sure. So these are the big ones to try and get rid of, so we're going to do that, and then I think at that point I'll probably go collect some more quartz, because I don't have too much to do at the moment, having run out. Or we could, I know what we'll do, we'll work on some lighting, that's what we'll do. I do have the equipment necessary for that. Ugh, I didn't intend that. But then again, there is going to be slabs on top, so I won't see it. So it's not all bad. Looking on the bright side. There's a bed up here which we can kind of take advantage of. And my axe is about to break. I don't think it's going to survive me chopping all of this down, so we may have to leave it part way done, unfortunately. This tree is the worst offender, I think. This one looks worse than that. I mean, the thing I do like though about being up here is that I can see kind of the whole spawn town from here. I can see Howl's house over there. I can see the coal chunks. In the distance is Brick's TARDIS. I have the lovely blast mine. So we may have to do something with height a bit later on, and I'm thinking of using maybe one of these back jungle trees and just doing something with that, and making almost like a platform around the tree, maybe a spiral staircase, just so that I can take a look over the spawn town and see kind of what's been going on. So that's something that we will also probably look into. As I say, I don't want to kind of get too far into building anything major, and certainly not to the point of making a base, because I'm going to hold off until 1.7 has somewhat been stabilized, so the biomes are kind of all finished and we're just down to bug fixes. Then I'll probably consider moving out, because I don't want to move out into 1.6 code and then just need to move out again. I'm kind of doing twice the amount of work, really. So this is the kind of the whole base of the tree here. So I'm going to have to work on this tree separately in a moment. So I'm going to knock this out, and this one too, and we're going to start by knocking these out. Surprise, my axe is coping pretty well. I'm probably not going to bore you with too much more of this. I'm probably going to work on the lighting next, and I'll tear down that tree off camera. Let's just knock this one out. And let's knock you out so we don't end up with leaves hanging in the air. My inventory must be getting pretty darn clogged at this point. So let's knock all of this out. Right down to the base. There we go. And this is a lot of wooden materials here that we can reuse them. Definitely. Oh, maybe I am going down there. I was about to say I'm definitely not going down there, but for a moment there I thought I might be, and that's not what I want. So I think that's just going to decay over time, and we'll be able to get rid of that. But that looks better already, with that eyesore out of the way, and I'm also going to get rid of that vine as well. That tree I'm going to tear down, probably off camera, before the next episode. But we're beginning to look better already. I really love the cave in a box, but it's in the way of my home here. It's in the back, so I may have to do something about that. So I'm gonna have to think about that. So let me get some lighting, maybe, and let's just try and play around with that for a bit. So glowstone and redstone, and I'm just going to deposit some of the stuff that we don't need Right now I need to make some lamps. And I'm going to need some levers as well, so I'm going to need sticks and cobblestone for that, and I'm going to make 16 levers. They're always handy to have around. So that, and we want some glowstonage. What's that going to give me to play with? 4. That's going to give me the start. This will enable me to kind of get the porch area wrapped up, I guess. I do want to put some lamps in here. I don't want to use torches. It doesn't fit the modern home style, I don't think. Some people may argue that it does, but in my opinion it doesn't really. And I did mark them out here, so I can just go in and go bloop, bloop, and bloop. And finally another good old-fashioned bloop there. Now we're going to get some levers. And we're just going to tuck them under here. Very, very simple stuff. There we go, so that's that bit done. I'm thinking now what I want to do is actually perhaps finish the porch, because it's nearly complete. So if I toss down this, and let me just make a couple of steps. Let's make 12 steps, will do very nice. I don't like that. I know what I want to do. In front of the windows, I think we want a nice middle one there. A nice little seat maybe. Still again playing around with ideas and trying to see what I can come up with. Because if I do that, I'm going to cover the light up and that kind of defeats the object. I could maybe do that and then do that and then knock out the middle two. But that kind of, it interrupts the light, so I don't like that as much. How about that? Maybe that's an option. That's kind of too large. I think I like it like that actually, with the window and actually having clear view without having stairs in the way of it necessarily. So I think we're gonna just work on that, and let's just see. Let's get some signs up, see how these chairs look, so I can just sit in a chair and take a look over my cave in a box. So let me get some more of these. Here we are, and let's get some more signs. Just need one more sign, but they'll come in handy. Yeah, not too bad. And I'm going to pick the crafting table up, just get that out of here. We are looking pretty darn good, I think, at this point. We've got the whole porch pretty much finished, apart from this little step area. Aside from that, the whole porch for me now is kind of finished, almost. Obviously, we've still got to work on the inside a little bit. But the porch, yeah, that's looking complete now. I may add a couple of things here and there. I may put a table of sorts. We could always try that. I do have fences on me. Would that look... Oops, that's not really what I wanted to do at all. Pick that up. No, I don't think that's really what I'm going for here. I may put something in the corner with a seat on it and a table, or I may just keep that for inside, or equally we could also, if I get my workbench, not a fence piece, a workbench, and I drop these in here and make these, we could make sunbeds. That, yes, yes, that is it. That is it right there. That is what we were looking for. Sunbeds on the porch. Nice. That's pretty cool. So I think that's pretty much, in a nutshell, the whole porch kind of taken care of, really. The only thing I need to work on now is kind of clearing the path up to my entrance of my plot, which I'm not really sure about yet. And that's about it, really. I think then it's on to working on this part, and getting that right. And that shouldn't be too hard, honestly. But I think we've done quite a bit for today's episode, so next episode, as I say, we will work on something different to this, and then we'll come back to it in the episode after, and we'll probably in that episode wrap up the entire roof section, and then all we will be left with is to interior decorate, which shouldn't be too hard, and then we will have a fully fledged spawn house ready to go. And I'm also going to do a bit of plot tidying up, as I say. I'm going to probably chop down a bunch more trees and kind of make it look a little bit clearer around here. But that's going to be it from me today, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed. I hope that you are liking the home that we're kind of coming up with. It's still a bit rough around the edges, as I say. It needs a fair bit of work yet. But I think we're moving in the right direction with it. So I will see you in the next episode, hopefully. And until then, guys, see you later and have a good day.